When someone pulls away, it's natural to feel a rush of emotions, confusion, frustration, maybe even fear of losing them. But the key in this moment is not to react impulsively. Instead, pause and reflect. Reacting without thinking can often lead to missteps, whether it's bombarding them with messages demanding explanations or trying to immediately fix something you don't fully understand. Pulling away doesn't necessarily mean the end. It's often just a signal that there's a shift. And shifts can be opportunities to recalibrate and refocus. When she pulls away, it's important to understand that the distance she's creating may have less to do with you and more to do with her own feelings or circumstances. By pausing instead of reacting, you give yourself the time and clarity to assess the situation. This isn't about trying to win her back through frantic efforts. It's about maintaining composure and showing her and yourself that you're capable of handling emotional challenges with grace. Use this pause as a chance to evaluate your own emotions. Are you feeling hurt, rejected, or confused? That's okay, acknowledge those feelings. Ignoring them or pretending you're unaffected can lead to unresolved tension. But instead of letting those emotions drive your behavior, channel them into understanding what you truly want and need. Ask yourself why her pulling away is impacting you so strongly. Is it because you're afraid of losing her, or because you feel like your worth is tied to her attention? These questions are important to answer for yourself before taking any steps forward. This period of reflection is also about empathy. Try to put yourself in her shoes. Why might she be pulling away? It could be due to stress, confusion, or a need for personal space. Jumping to conclusions or assuming the worst only widens the gap. Instead, taking the time to reflect helps you approach the situation with compassion and understanding rather than defensiveness or insecurity. While it's easy to focus entirely on her actions, use this pause to redirect some of that energy toward yourself. Reflect on the dynamic of your connection. Have you been overly available? Have you been giving too much without ensuring your own needs are met? Sometimes, when someone pulls away, it's a gentle reminder for you to refocus on your own independence and priorities. By pausing and stepping back, you're signaling that you respect her space while also prioritizing your own emotional well-being. This approach also creates an opportunity to subtly shift the dynamic. When you pause, instead of chasing, you allow her to feel the natural absence of your presence. People often realize the value of something once it's no longer constantly available to them. By giving her the room to miss you, you create the space for her to reflect on the connection as well, without any external pressure. It's not about playing games or manipulating her into wanting you more. It's about showing confidence and self-respect. When someone sees that you're not immediately reactive, it communicates that you have a strong foundation, both emotionally and mentally. This kind of grounded behavior is attractive because it creates a sense of security and stability. In the end, relationships are not about controlling or clinging to someone. They're about creating a healthy balance where both individuals feel valued and free to be themselves. By pausing and reflecting when she pulls away, you're not only respecting her process, but also setting the stage for a healthier connection moving forward. Let the pause work for you. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, patience, and maturity. When someone pulls away, it's easy to focus all your energy on them, wondering what went wrong or what you can do to fix the situation. But the best way to handle this moment isn't by obsessing over them, it's by focusing on yourself. Shifting your attention to personal growth is not only empowering, but also transformative. It sends a clear message that your value doesn't depend on someone else's approval or presence, and that you're continuously striving to be the best version of yourself. This isn't about distracting yourself or pretending not to care, it's about genuinely investing in yourself. Start by identifying areas in your life that you've been meaning to improve but haven't prioritized. Maybe it's your career, a skill you've always wanted to learn, your health, or even your social life. These are opportunities to turn inward and pour your energy into something that benefits you in the long run. When you focus on growth, you're not just improving for the sake of appearing more attractive, you're building a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful to you. Personal growth also creates a sense of confidence that is impossible to fake. When you know you're actively working toward your goals, whether it's getting in better shape, advancing in your career, or mastering a new skill, you naturally carry yourself differently. Confidence isn't just about how you present yourself to others, it's about how you feel about yourself. And when someone sees you thriving and pursuing your passions, it's hard not to take notice. It's a subtle reminder that you're someone with depth, ambition, and drive, a person who is worth being around. It's also important to recognize that focusing on personal growth helps you regain perspective. When emotions are running high, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You might find yourself overanalyzing every interaction, every word, or every gesture. But when you're channeling your energy into improving yourself, you start to see that the situation isn't as all-encompassing as it may have seemed. You realize that your happiness doesn't depend solely on another person and that you're capable of finding fulfillment on your own. This phase of growth is also a time to reconnect with the things that make you unique and vibrant. Maybe there are hobbies you used to love but stopped pursuing, or maybe there are new interests you've always wanted to explore but never found the time for. Now is the perfect moment to rediscover those passions. Not only does this make your life richer, but it also makes you more magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who are passionate and engaged with life, and the same will likely hold true for her. Moreover, this focus on growth isn't just external, it's internal too. Use this time to work on your mindset, emotional intelligence, and resilience. Reflect on what you've learned from the situation so far. What could you do differently in the future? How can you become more self-aware, patient, and understanding? These are the qualities that make you not only a better partner, but also a better person overall. Growth isn't always about tangible achievements, it's also about evolving mentally and emotionally. It's also worth noting that when you focus on personal growth, you naturally create a sense of mystery and independence. She'll notice that you're not waiting around or trying to prove something. Instead, you're moving forward, making strides, and building a life that's exciting and fulfilling. This makes her more likely to miss you, not because you're trying to make her, but because she sees the kind of person you're becoming and realizes the value of what she might be losing. Ultimately, focusing on personal growth isn't just about making her miss you, it's about rediscovering yourself. You're reminding yourself of your own worth, your capabilities, and your potential. Whether or not she comes back, this process ensures that you're better, stronger, and more grounded than before. When someone pulls away, one of the most important things you can do is maintain emotional stability. It's easy to let your emotions take over in moments like this, to feel anxious, frustrated, or even desperate. But these reactions, while natural, often lead to impulsive behaviors that push the other person further away. Emotional stability is the foundation that allows you to handle these situations with grace and composure, giving both you and her the space to breathe and process. Staying emotionally stable doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It means acknowledging how you feel while maintaining control over your actions. It's perfectly okay to feel hurt, confused, or uncertain, but it's essential to keep those emotions in check and not let them dictate how you respond. Stability is about creating a sense of balance within yourself, even when things feel out of your control. One of the first steps to maintaining emotional stability is to avoid reacting impulsively. When she pulls away, there's often a strong urge to reach out immediately, to ask what's wrong, or to try and fix the situation. But this kind of knee-jerk reaction can come across as clingy or overly dependent, which only reinforces the distance she's already creating. Instead, take a step back and allow yourself time to process. This pause shows maturity and self-control, qualities that naturally command respect. Focusing on emotional stability also means not making assumptions. It's easy to jump to conclusions, thinking she's losing interest, seeing someone else, or deciding to end things. But assumptions often lead to unnecessary anxiety and miscommunication. Instead of letting your mind spiral into worst-case scenarios, remind yourself that her pulling away could have a variety of explanations, many of which may have nothing to do with you. Giving her the benefit of the doubt not only helps you stay calm, but also prevents you from overreacting and making things worse. During this time, it's important to engage in activities that help you stay grounded. Whether it's exercising, meditating, journaling, or spending time with friends and family, these activities can help you maintain perspective and keep your emotions in check. They remind you that your happiness and sense of self-worth don't hinge on one person's actions. When you're emotionally stable, you're better equipped to handle the situation rationally and with confidence. Another critical aspect of emotional stability is learning to detach from the outcome. This doesn't mean you stop caring or give up on the relationship. It means letting go of the need to control the situation or force a particular result. When you detach from the outcome, you allow things to unfold naturally. This creates a healthier dynamic where both you and she can evaluate the relationship without pressure or expectation. It also communicates that you're secure enough in yourself to handle whatever happens, which is incredibly attractive. Emotional stability also helps you set a positive tone for future interactions. If she senses that you're calm and collected, she's more likely to feel comfortable reaching out again. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and steadiness, especially during times of uncertainty. By staying grounded, you create an environment where she can feel safe to reconnect without fear of conflict or overwhelming emotions. In the end, maintaining emotional stability isn't just about making her miss you, it's about showing that you respect both her need for space and your own emotional boundaries. It's about demonstrating that you're someone who can handle challenges with grace and maturity. Whether she comes back or not, this approach ensures that you remain in control of your emotions and your actions, setting the stage for healthier relationships in the future. When she pulls away, it's tempting to over-communicate in an effort to close the gap. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is create a sense of mystery. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully grasp or predict. By stepping back slightly and avoiding overwhelming communication, you give her the space to wonder about you. This isn't about playing games, it's about allowing her to feel the absence of your presence and letting curiosity work in your favor. When you're too readily available or overly communicative, it can unintentionally diminish the value of your attention. The constant availability might signal dependence or a lack of your own independent life, which can cause the dynamic to feel unbalanced. By contrast, when you give her space, you create room for her to reflect on the connection and what your presence means to her. It's often in moments of distance that people start to appreciate what they've been taking for granted. Creating a sense of mystery doesn't mean going silent or ignoring her altogether. It's about being intentional with your energy and presence. Respond when it feels natural, but don't initiate every conversation or be the one to constantly reach out. Let her have the time to notice your absence and to think about what you're up to. This subtle shift in behavior invites her curiosity and creates an opportunity for her to take the initiative. In the meantime, focus on building and maintaining a fulfilling life outside of her. When you're fully engaged in your passions, career, and personal goals, it not only enriches your own life, but also naturally adds an air of intrigue. When someone sees that you're thriving and focused on your own growth, it makes them wonder about the things they might not fully know or understand about you. Mystery is created not by withholding information, but by showing that you're dynamic, multifaceted, and constantly evolving. It's also important to guard against oversharing during this time. While transparency and communication are key to any relationship, there's something powerful about leaving certain things unsaid. Allow her to wonder about your thoughts, your plans, and what's going on in your life. Sharing everything all at once can leave no room for curiosity, but revealing parts of yourself gradually keeps her engaged and invested. This approach is not manipulative, it's respectful. By giving her space and focusing on yourself, you're honoring her need for distance while still holding on to your sense of self. You're showing her that your world doesn't revolve entirely around her, and that's an important dynamic for any healthy relationship. Independence is attractive because it signals that you're confident and secure, and it also lays the foundation for mutual respect. When she does reach out or re-engage, don't rush to fill the space with too much information or eagerness. Let the connection rebuild naturally and maintain that balance between being open and holding on to your individuality. This balance keeps the relationship dynamic and prevents it from becoming stagnant. Ultimately, creating a sense of mystery is about showing that you're someone worth wondering about. It's about giving her the space to miss you and allowing the connection to grow stronger in the process. By stepping back slightly, you create room for her curiosity and appreciation to flourish. When someone pulls away, it's often because they need time to process their feelings or evaluate the relationship. In moments like these, one of the most effective ways to reignite the connection is by subtly reminding her of the positive emotions and memories you've shared together. These reminders can evoke a sense of nostalgia and warmth, helping her reconnect with the bond that brought you together in the first place. The key here is to do this subtly without overwhelming her or coming across as trying too hard. Start by reflecting on the moments that made your relationship special, those little things that sparked laughter, comfort, or a sense of closeness. Maybe it was a shared joke that only the two of you would understand, a song you both love, or a particular experience that brought you closer. When the time feels right, you can gently weave these memories into conversations or interactions in a way that feels natural. For example, mentioning how you heard that song on the radio the other day or recalling a funny moment can spark a positive emotional response without making her feel pressured. These subtle reminders are powerful because they tap into the emotional foundation of your connection. They remind her of why she was drawn to you in the first place and of the bond you've built together. People often pull away because they feel disconnected or uncertain, and evoking these shared emotions can bridge that gap without requiring direct confrontation. It's also important to focus on the feelings these memories bring up rather than just the events themselves. For example, instead of saying, "Remember when we went to that restaurant," you might say, "I was thinking about how much fun we had that night at the restaurant. It really made me smile." This shifts the focus from the event to the positive emotion it created, which is more likely to resonate with her on a deeper level. At the same time, it's crucial to respect her space and not overdo it. Constantly bringing up the past or trying too hard to remind her of good times can feel forced and may have the opposite effect. The goal is not to overwhelm her, but to gently nudge her memory and emotions. These subtle reminders should feel organic and come from a genuine place of appreciation for what you've shared, not from a need to cling to the relationship. Another effective way to reignite shared emotions is by continuing to engage in activities or behaviors that reflect the qualities she admired in you. If she was drawn to your sense of humor, confidence, or kindness, ensure those traits still shine through in your interactions. This helps reinforce the connection between the positive aspects of your personality and the emotions she associates with you. It's also worth considering how you can create new moments that evoke similar feelings. While reminding her of the past is important, showing her that you're still capable of creating meaningful and enjoyable experiences together can have an even greater impact. This doesn't mean planning elaborate gestures. It could be as simple as sharing something funny or thoughtful that shows you're still the person she connected with. Ultimately, reigniting shared memories and emotions is about gently reminding her of the value of your connection while respecting her need for space. By focusing on the positive, you allow her to see the relationship in a new light and give her the freedom to miss what you've built together. Let these moments speak for themselves and allow the emotions to naturally resurface. When she pulls away, it's natural to want to chase or overcompensate in an effort to bring her back closer. However, one of the most effective things you can do is strike the right balance between being present and maintaining your independence. This approach not only respects her need for space, but also reminds her of the unique individual she was drawn to in the first place. Being present doesn't mean constantly reaching out or trying to be a part of every moment in her life. It means staying emotionally available and approachable without pressuring her. When she senses that you're still there in a calm and steady way, it creates a sense of safety and reliability. It's not about trying to force a connection, but about showing her that you're still the same caring, grounded person she once felt close to. At the same time, maintaining your independence is equally important. When someone pulls away, it's often because they need time to assess their own feelings or navigate personal challenges. By stepping back slightly and focusing on your own life, you give her the room she needs without completely withdrawing. Independence doesn't just mean giving her space, it means actively engaging in your own passions, goals, and relationships. It's about showing her that while you care for her, your world doesn't stop spinning when she takes a step back. This balance of presence and independence creates a dynamic that's both attractive and healthy. When she sees that you're not trying to chase or control the situation, it relieves any pressure she might feel. And when she notices that you're thriving in your own life, pursuing your goals, spending time with friends, and investing in your personal growth, it subtly reminds her of the qualities that initially drew her to you. It shows her that you're a whole, self-sufficient individual, and that's incredibly compelling. The way you interact with her during this time is also key. When she does reach out or engage, meet her with warmth and understanding rather than frustration or coldness. Show her that you value the connection but aren't dependent on it for your happiness. A friendly, open demeanor communicates emotional stability and makes it easier for her to reconnect. However, don't overdo it or act overly eager. Maintain a tone that's genuine and composed, reflecting both your interest and your independence. It's also worth noting that being present while remaining independent creates a sense of balance in the relationship. It shifts the focus from trying to win her back to fostering mutual respect and admiration. This approach isn't about playing hard to get or creating artificial distance. It's about showing her through your actions that you're someone who values the connection but also values yourself. This balance also gives her the freedom to miss you. When you're not constantly available but remain open and approachable, it allows her to feel the natural ebb and flow of the relationship. She begins to notice the moments when you're not there and the qualities she appreciates about you. Independence combined with presence gives her